Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This Vulcan Report is an intraday Vulcan Report for Monday, November the 21st, 2016. This is our pre-market pulse scan. So taking a look at the first ticker is, these are going to all be by request from the trading room, as you know. So we're looking at ticker 0700.HK. So this is looking at the Hong Kong market. Looks like the name of this stock is Tencent. So anyway, getting into the meat of it, this is the system output chart instead of using the Thinkorswim chart. So get a better reading. I want to show you a few things. Okay, as you can see here, we were talking about the bot checks. Okay, those of you who have been with me over the past several years, you know about the bot checks. Bot checks are very powerful indicators because they go into the dynamics of the market and uncover what you cannot see visibly on the chart. So that's, in a nutshell, what it is. So basically, when you take a look at the definitions of this, this is going to be a system output generated 311 alert. Okay, 311 alerts is basically indicating a situation of locked in positive or negative momentum with a positive or negative swing VIX. In other words, for those of you who've been with me, you know what this means. These are the original bot checks. What are bot checks? Bot checks are sophisticated algorithms that search out inconsistencies within the market depth and find areas where selling pressure or buying pressure are building up behind the scenes. And we will cover more of this at the Academy. But suffice it to say, for now, you're looking at market depth and you're looking at put call ratios and things of that nature. And that's what bot checks come back as little spiders telling you what's going on after they seek out this information. So this is not visible in the charts. Alright, so another thing to take a note of here too is, and I'll probably change some of these around, but system output charts look like this for right now. These blue candles is an up day and the black candles is a down day. So that's significant because looking at this particular ticker, these red outstretched lines is negative bot checks in the market, and the green ones here are positive bot checks in the market. I did not boot up the crash alerts and rally alerts. I'll do that later for another video. I just didn't have time. I just want to have them get this out to you so you can see what I'm talking about. So looking at this stock, it's below the Kumo cloud, and this is a daily chart. It's below the Kumo cloud. In addition to that, you have negative momentum. Even though you've had some up days and you gapped up here and you filled the gap on the following bar on the 17th, it's still under selling pressure, and that's what this is showing you. It's selling pressure. The last signal here showing buying pressure, it did not follow through. All right, it fell out of bed and got crashed, and now we have extended that. So this is a developing bearish scenario. The last one we had was back here on the October the 27th, and you can see how it developed. All right, and here we are. So every rally is being sold. This last rally here was sold. This last rally here was sold. Market topped out back up in here. Okay, and then since then it's been sold. Okay, so that's where you are in this particular stock. So it's under negative momentum right now, and it's not a whole lot you can do about it. Is in a bear market. It's below the Kumo cloud, and your indicators are showing you that. This magenta line, same as the Thinkorswim charts. It's a momentum line. Okay, and it shows momentum, and you can see here this is locked in, and this is showing you here. Okay, another thing of note, you see your short-term trend line is this pink one, then your long-term trend line is this orange one. Okay, so you can see that the short-term trend line is below the long-term trend line, so that's bearish. That's a bearish position. All right, so right now this market is pulse waving negative, and you can see that because it's locked in here. This shows you when a market is pulse waving negative, and then this right here shows you when a market is pulse waving positive. Okay, so those are secret nuances within the system code outputs. Okay, all right, let's pull up our next chart here. Give me just a second. See what we got. I should have keyed them all in in the beginning. I did not, so bear with me. Let's get into the next one now. Let's get into AG real quick. It's taking a moment just for it to boot up here. Don't know why it's taking forever. Alright, now looking at AG, you can see it's also below the Kumo cloud. However, with the AG, it's starting on the last bar on Friday. It started, that closing bar started, or what it's trying to start is a positive momentum. All right, so there's some buying there, some positive momentum that's trying to do a little something. We shall see if this will spill over after the close on Monday. But we've been waffling around here. You see, you had beginning of more selling, then you had some buying, you had more selling, then some buying. So this is consolidation. Nothing really getting on and running beyond our day. So it's just waffling around. It is in a negative situation right now. Okay, momentum is flattening out though. See how that light blue line is just like straight across. That's a flat line on the momentum side. So indecision, not a lot going on. Okay, that's why this thing keeps shifting. So that's what you're seeing, indecisive, almost an equilibrium in price. If you look at this bar here, the close of this bar, the 851, and then go back here with the close of this bar here, 842. So really there's been no change in price. It's just flat. All right, so that's what this this light blue line shows you. Okay, momentum up or down, sideways, the whole nine. And we're below the Kumo cloud, and we're below the long-term trend line, which is way up here. Excuse me, at $10.70. That's where that is. Let's take another thing here real quick. Okay. All right, so I'll put this right here. All right, so currently, hold on, let's make this a little bit better. All right, now we're in business. Okay, so right here we got $10.70 is going to be your upside resistance right here in this particular stock. So it has a little ways to go. See if it can get up into the Kumo cloud of death. But this is a wide cloud here, though. This is a very wide cloud, very wide. 949 on the bottom, and what's that? 1341 on the top. That's a lot. That's wide. That's really, really wide. So market can consolidate up in the cloud and be there for a minute and still have no decision. So this market is, has no bullishness in it at this point. It looks like it's flattening out, trying to build a base for long-term support to get back up. But as it is right now, it's not a lot going on except for indecisiveness in AG right now. Okay, let's see if we can get through these rapidly now. I will attempt. Okay, the next chart we're looking at here is American Express. And right now you can see that on this one we're still locked in on the bullish side of things. We have bullish momentum here, and the market is in a positive pulse wave position. And you can see that our two support lines, you see the short-term support is above the long-term support, which is good, and momentum is pointing up in an arching fashion. So this is good momentum going forward. So initial target should be 73. Because it's a holiday week, shortened trading week, it's tough to say where it's going to end up, but I'm going to say that that is exactly where it's going to end up. So that's where we are right now on this one. Let's see, looking at one other thing here. Yep. Okay, so that's your momentum on your American Express, and I did add this one to the weekly pulse wave, so you should be able to get your readings and your numbers on where to, as far as entries and stops and all that good stuff. All right, let's move to the next one here. Let's see. Hi. All right, this is taking a while. Okay, here we go. All right, this one here is the inverse gold ETF. This is the the DGLD. So on this one, let's see. Bear with me just a second. All right, looking at your DGLD on this one, you have a positive pulse wave situation, hence the green momentum line, and you have a upward, this is a steep upward sloping arch here on the momentum side. You're bullish, you're above the Kumo cloud, so you're looking good on this one. Your first resistance is going to be at the blue momentum line, and that's around $54.99 on the DGLD. So this one's looking good. The only thing is that if you do come back to the $54.99 trend line, we did close at $56.31, by the way. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there. Just keep that in mind. But this is a possibility, so just keep in mind before the next bounce anyway. But this is a good looking chart. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll go to the Australian dollar, which was asked about. All right, this one's in a negative pulse wave, hence this negative momentum line. You see it here too, gaining downside speed. So it's gaining acceleration to the downside. First overhead resistance for Monday is going to be 74.52. Okay, a close above 74.52 would cease the current down leg and would start to retrace. And then your trend line here, resistance is at 75.50. Okay, so that's where you are with that one. Let's go to the next one. All right, this is Joe, ticker symbol JO. All right, this is the ETF that follows the coffee futures. All right, it was in a negative pulse wave position, and now you've come off of that. So as of Friday, it ceased the downtrend for the moment, and it may pick back up, but as of right now, your negative pulse wave has ceased. Your momentum is leveling out, and let's see here, we're at 23.76 on your overhead resistance. All right, 2376. So we'll wait and see what happens on that one, but that's where you are on that. Overall, though, it's still bullish the Kumo cloud because you're above the Kumo cloud. But you can see it's been in a retracement since it started negative pulse waving back here. All right, and it's come off this prior high of $26.21. So since then, now here we are at 23. So this one has a lot of gaps along the way, but for the most part, they haven't been filled either. So this is a very interesting chart. We filled these back here. All right. Even this one here, let's see, 2280, 2281. Technically, you haven't filled this. It kind of looks like it because, again, 2280, 2281. You didn't really fill the gap. It's acting like it's accepting this as a gap fill. I'm going to say no. And then back here is a gap, but then you have this here. So this filled this one. So I think we're going to go lower still and fill this one here before headed back up again. So you have a gap range. Let's see, you got 2257 on the bottom side, and you have 2280 on the top side. So between the range of 2257 and 2280, I think that's where your Joe is headed before it can head back up. It's going to need to close this gap. So you're going down first. I think this is going to relock in. So this may stay like this, and then on Monday, the close of Monday's trading, then you get that. You get another one, another beginning leg of the next down leg, and then from that you recover. So that's how I see Joe right now. All right, UGLD, looking at the gold. All right, this one is in a negative pulse wave, increasing downward pressure still below the Kumo cloud. Overhead resistance, immediate resistance is at $10.04 on the UGLD, and then the next resistance above that is $11.15, which is here, and then $11.82, which is here. So it has some recovering to do. It can do it. It's just going to be contingent on what they do with the gold futures. Okay, so you got to watch the gold futures closely on this one. All right, USLV, pretty much the same picture. You're in a negative pulse wave position. All right, momentum is pointing straight down. First overhead resistance is at $13.91. A close above that today would put an end to the current downtrend in the silver. So that's where you are. But right now you're locked in on the downside on the silver. All right, taking a look now at which one is this one? Okay, this is your JNUG. Okay, this is JNUG. Let's pull this up here. All right, JNUG is just ceased the current lock-in. All right, so we need to see what happens on Monday. But right now, JNUG has ceased according to the momentum readings. The negative pulse wave has paused, trying to build a base for a bottom here. Let's see if it's successful, and if it can get some, start retrace here. Your Monday's overhead resistance is at $7.34. So again, that's $7.34. That's the overhead resistance. A close above that would confirm that this is This negative pulse wave is done, and it wants to start retracing and build upon a positive pulse wave breakout. All right, so that's what it's attempting to do right now. All right, let's take a look at JDST. All right, JDST is coming off of its positive pulse wave. You know, it's the direct opposite. So we'll see what can happen on Monday. Will it relock back in again, or will it try to start a downtrend? All right, we'll see. It's still above the Kumo cloud. Support right now is at $38.68. So a close below that would put an end to the current uptrend. So that's not something you want to see if you're still bullish this. Now you guys see why I like to go flat on the weekends, you know, on Fridays, because anything can happen on over the weekend or even Monday before you have a chance to react and respond. So it's good just to, you know, be flat and do what you got to do if you can. Again, if you can. Can't always do that, but if you can, it's not a bad idea to do so. All right, let's move on. Okay, finishing up now with the euro. When you contrast this with the dollar, you see it's the exact opposite. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days down in a row, 10 straight down days in a row, and you're locked in with the negative pulse wave. Momentum is pointing straight down. All right, overhead resistance for Monday is 107.09. So a close above that would put an end to this downward spiral, but if not, this thing is headed to par the way it's moving. So anyway, that's all we got time for right now. I'll finish up on another on part 2. Remember, see you in the trading room.